In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on May 23, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Baltimore Orioles versus Boston Red Sox, Game 1. On Friday, the Baltimore Orioles are set to take on the Boston Red Sox in a doubleheader at Fenway Park. This back-to-back action comes after Thursday's scheduled game between the two American League East rivals was postponed due to rain. Baltimore, who came into the season with plenty of optimism, has quickly become one of the biggest letdowns in all of baseball. With a dismal 16-32 record, they sit dead last in the American League East and haven't fared much better on the road, holding an 8-17 mark away from Camden Yards. Game 1 of the doubleheader could very well continue their 2025 downward spiral. The first pitching matchup of the day will feature left-hander Cade Povich taking the mound for the Orioles, while the Red Sox counter with Brayan Bello. Boston looked strong early in Bello's starts, winning his first 4 outings this season. However, momentum has stalled a bit as they've dropped his last 2 starts. Still, this game sets up nicely for Boston to snap that skid. The Orioles simply haven't been able to generate consistent offense. They're ranked near the bottom of the league in road OPS at just .635. Meanwhile, Povich is still trying to find his footing in the majors, posting a 5.23 earned run average across 41.1 innings. Expect the Red Sox bats to come out swinging early and often against the inexperienced lefty, while Bello should be in a solid position to control the game and keep Baltimore's offense quiet. As our first pick for this matchup, the Boston Red Sox money line is our full game side pick. Even though the over has only hit 4 times in the last 10 meetings between these two clubs, it's worth noting that their most recent 3-game series earlier this year saw a combined 28 runs scored. Both squads come into Friday's matchup with pitching staffs that haven't exactly dominated, each carrying a team-earned run average of 4 or worse. For Baltimore, the over has cashed in 7 of their last 10 games, a stretch in which they've allowed an average of 6 runs per contest. As for Boston, the over is an even 5-5 in their last 10, but it's telling that they've surrendered 57 runs in that span. All signs suggest we could be in for another game that leans heavily toward offense. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Milwaukee Brewers versus Pittsburgh Pirates. The Brewers and Pirates are squaring off in Game 2 of their series at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's been a tough stretch for Milwaukee when they play in Pittsburgh. Freddie Peralta, who's on the mound for the Brewers, hasn't fared too well here lately. He's gone 0-1 with a 5.55 earned run average and racked up 27 strikeouts in 5 appearances against the Pirates on the road. As a team, Milwaukee hasn't inspired much confidence as underdogs away from home, putting up a rough 5-12 record in that spot this season. Meanwhile, the Pirates are in a spot where they badly need a win to stop the bleeding and get back on track. With Paul Skeens getting the start, Pittsburgh should have the edge here and be in good position to take a close one at home. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Pirates money line is our full game side pick. When it comes to totals, the numbers tell a story of struggle at the plate. The Pirates have gone under more often than not, with an over-under record of 2-6-2 in their last 10 games. The Brewers, in a similar spot, have posted a 3-4-1 over-under record as underdogs against their division rivals in the National League Central, with both teams showing inconsistencies with the bat and 2 solid arms starting on the mound. This one is shaping up to be more of a pitching duel than an offensive showcase. Expect fewer runs than usual in this matchup. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Cubs versus Cincinnati Reds. It's the start of a weekend series between 2 NL Central teams trying to get back on track, and they'll be squaring off in Cincinnati. home of skyline chili and streaky baseball. The Chicago Cubs roll into town to open up a 3-game set against the Reds on Friday night, and there's plenty riding on this one for both clubs. We've got ourselves a solid division rivalry here. The Cubs are sitting at the top of the National League Central and playing like they belong among the best teams in the league. Their offense has been tearing it up lately. They're leading the league in scoring, and their pitching, while not lights out, has been solid enough to keep that success going. On the flip side, Cincinnati is dealing with another cold streak. The Reds have been up and down all year, and right now, they're in one of those stretches where they just can't put runs on the board. They got shut out in back-to-back games by the Pirates, and that was without Paul Skeens on the mound, which makes it worse. Part of the reason the line on this game is so appealing is because Hunter Green is starting for the Reds. He's coming off a groin injury, and while his arm is still good, there's a chance he might be on a limited pitch count. The Cubs will counter with Matthew Boyd. He's nothing to write home about, but he's a lefty, and that matters here. The Reds are one of the weaker teams in the league when it comes to hitting left-handed pitching. One specific matchup problem, Elly De La Cruz has to bat right-handed against lefties, and that's his less productive side. Sure, Green has the better stuff overall, but the Cubs have the far better lineup, and Cincinnati just isn't scoring right now. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Cubs money line is our full game side pick. When you look at the numbers, it gets even more interesting. Chicago comes in averaging a hefty 5.86 runs per game, while giving up 4.2. That's a combined total of just over 10 runs per game. On the road, they're still strong offensively at 5.81 runs per game, and they give up slightly fewer, just under 4 runs, so their average total in away games is about 9.77 runs. On the year, the over has hit in 28 of their games, with 17 on dares and 5 pushes heading into Thursday. Now look at Cincinnati. They're 11th in the league in runs scored at 4.47 per game. Not terrible, but far from elite. Their pitching has been surprisingly solid, giving up just 3.82 runs per contest overall. That puts their average total per game at 8.29. At home, the numbers dip even lower. They're scoring just 4.16 runs per game and giving up 3.72. So games at Great American Ballpark have been averaging just 7.88 total runs. That's led to a lot of undares, 32 of them, compared to just 18 overs and 1 push in their first 51 games. So, when you consider the matchup, the ballpark, and the current scoring trends, especially how cold the Reds' bats have been, this one has the feel of a game that stays below the number. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Francisco Giants versus Washington Nationals. It's the opening game of a 3-game set between a pair of National League squads, with the San Francisco Giants hitting the road to kick off a weekend series against the Washington Nationals in the heart of the nation's capital this Friday evening. When you break down the home and road splits for these two starting pitchers, a pretty stark contrast jumps out. For the Giants, Landon Roop has been shaky away from home. He's posted a 2-2 record with a bloated 5.04 earned run average and a .260 batting average against across 30.1 innings over 6 road starts. On the other side, National starter Matt Kinsey-Gore has looked a lot more comfortable on his home mound. He's 1-2 at Nationals Park, but with a solid 2.92 earned run average and an elite 0.81 WHIP in 24.2 innings spread over 4 starts. Another major angle in this one is speed on the bases, specifically which team can create pressure and turn singles into scoring chances. The Giants are near the bottom of the league, ranked 27th with just 25 stolen bases and have been caught 11 times. Meanwhile, the Nationals are doing a much better job creating havoc. They've swiped 49 bags on 66 attempts, good for 7th in the league. As our first pick for this matchup, the Washington Nationals money line is our full game side pick. The Giants have had a tendency to get involved in high-scoring games this season. Coming into Thursday, they had gone over the total in 28 of their first 50 games. Offensively, they ranked 10th in the majors, scoring 4.6 runs per game, and that number ticks up even higher to 4.92 when they're playing on the road. The average total runs in Giants games sits at 8.36, and again, that rises to 8.96 in road games. Washington, on the flip side, had stayed under the total in 24 of their 49 games heading into Wednesday, with 2 games pushing the number. The Nationals are putting up 4.33 runs per game overall, 13th in the league, and that number slightly improves to 4.39 when they're at home. But what really stands out standout is the average total in their games, 9.61 overall, and an even higher 10.04 at home. Given that Gore has been touched up a bit lately and the Giants bring a livelier offense when they are on the road, this one has all the makings of a back-and-forth, high-scoring battle. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus Tampa Bay Rays. On Friday night, the Toronto Blue Jays head south to St. Petersburg, Florida, where they'll kick off a 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field. It's the start of what should be a competitive weekend, but all signs point toward Tampa Bay holding the upper hand in the opener. The Rays come into this game with several key advantages. They're well rested after a day off on Thursday, giving their top players a chance to recharge without missing any action. That break is especially helpful since it comes right in between home series, meaning the Rays won't have to deal with travel fatigue or any disruption to their usual routine. The Blue Jays, on the other hand, will be flying in from Canada after wrapping up a game against the Padres on Thursday. That tight turnaround puts them at a disadvantage right from the jump. Making matters worse for Toronto, they haven't even announced a starting pitcher yet. That's a red flag. They typically lean on a rotation of 4 reliable starters, but this game falls into a gap, meaning someone from the bullpen will likely have to step in and handle a starting role. That's not ideal, especially for a team that ranks just 21st in the league in team earned run average, a stat that includes their best arms. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, will be handing the ball to Rasmussen. His earned run average is sitting below 3, and he looked sharp his last time out, throwing 6 scoreless innings in a win. Historically, the Rays have also had Toronto's number. They've won 6 of the last 7 matchups between these two teams and swept the Jays the last time they hosted them at Tropicana. Tampa Bay's pitching has done a great job of silencing Toronto's offense, holding them to 3 runs or fewer in 6 of the last 7 meetings overall, and in 6 straight games at home. Baz, who has experience dealing with Toronto, is 2-0 against them in his career with a 2.91 earned run average and a 1.02 WHIP. That's dominance. Toronto's road struggles are another red flag. They've dropped 3 of their last 4 series away from home, including a sweep at the hands of the Yankees. On the season, they've lost more than 57% of their road games. Their pitching staff has underwhelmed as a whole, checking in at 23rd in team earned run average with a mark of 4.34. That doesn't bode well against a Rays lineup that's heating up. As our first pick for this matchup, the Tampa Bay Rays money line is our full game side pick. Offensively, Tampa Bay is starting to find its rhythm. The top of their order has been especially dangerous, and they just exploded for 8 runs against the Astros, including 4 home runs. Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lowe, and Josh Lowe each went deep in that game, showing off the power threat that exists throughout the lineup. They'll be licking their chops against a Toronto squad that's likely to use a bullpen committee, which rarely produces the kind of dominance needed to shut down a team with this much pop. Now, to be fair, the Blue Jays can still put up runs. They hung 14 on the Padres in Game 2 of that series, and their bats are capable of catching fire at any moment. Even with Rasmussen on the hill, he's not invincible. He gave up 3 or more earned runs in 4 straight starts before blanking the Marlins. Given that, and the uncertainty around Toronto's pitching plan, this game has all the ingredients for a high-scoring affair. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.